I'll pull in my good buddy Guar. What up? Oh man, good to hear ya.
Yeah, it's good to hear you too. Yeah, I just wanted to know we can talk about D&D and stuff.
Fuck yeah, let's talk about D&D. This is my first ever D&D party member friend.
Yeah, that was so long ago when we met up over at Maelstrom's place and got to play some D&D with, what was it? My first character was that Dragonborn that I didn't know what I was doing, and then I picked up Guar.
I only remember Guar. Because
Yeah,
I was so frantically trying to figure out what the fuck was going on.
Yeah.
I was like, I
was a
absolutely
weird
want to
build.
play. I don't know how to do this, but let's do it.
Yeah. Yeah, it was so weird because, like, what was it? We had those two other people that were supposed to join us, but they hopped off, and so it was just you and me.
Yeah, there was one other guy at character creation.
Yeah.
I remember he took the feather out of my fucking hat.
Yeah, he did.
That's the only thing I remember, and I was like, you motherfucker, that's my fake hat feather. You don't touch it. But he did.
Yeah, he did. And then, that was fun. I missed, that campaign was fun, even though we didn't know what we were doing.
We had no fucking clue.
No, we had no idea.
Okay, I've been trying to recall what the fuck we even were doing. I remembered there was some sort of red dragon. There was a queen dragon lady.
Yeah, Red Queen, and we were, she was in charge, and of that whole island of monsters and shit, and, oh god, you tell the story, you're better at it.
Oh, I don't remember, though. This is the problem. I'm starting to forget, because I have 2 campaigns in my brain right now that I run instead of, like, playing now, so, like, it just all melts together. I remember specifically we tried to chip, we went to a cave. And by the way, chat, I guess I didn't introduce my character, although I've talked about him before. And both these characters have made an appearance in my campaign, because I love them. Hansel Solem, my very first ever character, he was a rogue, and he was a pirate. And someone had stolen the Eon Raptor, our ship.
That was your story.
And, anyway, I remember we went into a cave and started trying to chip treasure out of ice, and not knowing. I definitely didn't know. I don't know if you knew. Definitely it was an ice dragon, and then I know now because it showed up. I didn't know at the time. Like walking into that, no fucking clue. Like me now knowing, like immediately if I see treasure in ice, I'm like, that's a fucking dragon, and not because of that, just because that's the fucking lore in the book of those.
Right.
So like. Anyway, it comes around, and definitely we wouldn't have been able to fight that. There was 2 of us, and it was like a fucking adult dragon. Like we just would have died.
Well, there was 2 of them. There was a breeding pair.
Oh fuck! It was 2. Yeah, we would have been fucked.
So
it was insane.
And I was like, no, we need to leave.
What an insane fucking thing. We didn't even have a friend with. Did we have Blue with us at that point, or was he later? Yeah, he was in the wizard. Anyway, we had a two people talking about their D&D campaign is what's happening right now. Don't worry about it. We had a Warforged, like a robot essentially, whose name was Blue, who also showed up in my other campaign, by the way, earlier. He was just a security. Yeah, I didn't. He was just a security guard that essentially arrested the group. I don't know. I remember. What was it?
Well, Blue came in the tower that we went to.
Yeah, I remember setting a fire in a room because there was a fucking scary monster.
Yeah, I don't recall where that happened. Like
it was in the wizard tower.
Oh,
and we opened a door and there's like a fucking blob, and we just shut the door and then throw fire and then walked away.
There was a news. There was a news in there, and I was like, yeah, just throw fire.
No, we're done. We're the worst D&D players ever.
Oh, we were.
We were the worst.
And then we get to the top of that tower, and of course, so like at the time, chat, what's going on is that we're trying to basically do a fetch quest, and we're trying to complete it, and we have this ancient item of ice, and it causes this massive ice storm the whole time.
That's right.
And
that was pretty cool, by the way.
It was, because like we couldn't figure it out, like, wait, wasn't it nice over here? And it's like, no, it's snow now. And so we get to this, and we're being chased by the Red Queen's guard. And so they followed us to that tower. We went up the tower, and I lost my mace to that bitch. because she and I played it right because Guar was dumb as a box of rocks, and he just loved everybody. He loved kids, and but he was just such a monster and everything else. Like he would drown people.
Yeah, he would. So you must understand also that we didn't really know each other very well at the time. No. We had been very, very loose affiliated, and we hung out a little bit, like at a comedy club once, and I think essentially one other time, and then we played D&D, or maybe just that time. And we ended up hanging out pretty regularly doing this, and got to meet the dark core of each other pretty quick. As we just drown motherfuckers and stab them and set their fucking businesses on fire because they deigned to slightly disrespect me. Sansalov, thanks. Man,
we did a lot of weird stuff.
No better way to meet somebody and like learn about them and bond with them than to play Dungeons and Dragons.
Right. Like one of my favorite events was like where Guar got to drown someone. Was
in the Passion cult.
Oh, that was fun. That was fun, but like not as fun as like when we were walking to that warehouse to find like near our house that we bought. I'm saying like it was us, but anyways,
well, of course it's a D&D campaign, so of course that's how we do it.
Yeah, and so we were like, we saw those guards picking on those kids, and we decided, let's fuck up those guards because they're picking on kids, and so I drowned one of them.
Oh, fuck, that did happen.
Yeah, because like we didn't want them beating up kids.
I wasn't a murder hobo. I'll have you know that Guar was the murder hobo, and I was a bad influence, but also like the voice of reason. Often, but sometimes I would just be like, well, it's Guar, what can you do?
Yeah, I remember seeing some of those times, like when we would, like for example, we killed those bandits outside of that one town, that first big town that we were at, and we were leaving to go to, murder some other love cult, and so we killed the bandits. And as an example, Guar decided, really, but
no, blame it on the character. Like, you were playing your character.
I was playing Guar very well, but I pinned a dead man to the trees.
Oh, fuck!
Over it with using their own weapons.
As like a human flesh scarecrow.
Yeah, something like that.
Smart. That's smart. I think you said he wasn't smart, but that sounds like smart barbarian shit to me.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, he was kind of fun to just go traipse around and just beat the shit out of things. But yeah, then the sex cult. All right, so Chet, this is what happened. Now, we went into this campaign thinking it was going to be an evil campaign, and it really was more just like chaos and stuff like that. It's really what it turned out to. But I was really trying to play Guar being kind of chaotic and evil. So we were given another mission by this knight individual, but at the time we found out later it was a silver dragon in disguise. Mm-hmm. And they wanted us to go, of course, what was that?
Did you know that all my dragons can be people because of Maelstrom's dragons?
Yeah, I do the same thing.
And in fact, it wasn't a silver dragon in disguise, but I had a silver dragon, and I don't remember the inspiration, but you mentioned this, so it must be that because it was right around the time. I had them interact with a silver dragon because they are apparently like good at talking or something, and it's one of the most memorable moments of that campaign is they faked a death to make they made the dragon feel guilty, and they gaslit this dragon to think that they caused the death of a fucking party member. And it was just so fucked up.
Oh, man,
they're the good guys, by the way. They totally ruined this silver dragon's day.
Oh, man.
Very funny.
You guys are just gaslighting people. But hey, we're the good guys. It's okay. It was done for a good reason, though, so it's fine.
Yeah,
it's totally fine. But yeah, then we went over to that temple, burnt it down, and so
we got hired to burn down a pleasure palace.
Yeah, and it was basically, so we walk into this palace. It's a dome, right?
Yeah, I guess sounds right. Dome with like fountains and pools and shit, and people were fucking everywhere.
Yeah, and there's some fucking statues, and so Jake goes because like I'm thinking, all right, how do we like fuck this place up?
Yeah, I
And
said like
Jake,
let's hit up a statue. You
yeah,
know,
you are like, let's push a statue. I'm like,
normal defiling
ah,
religious places stuff.
yeah, yeah. I was
You
like, of
went
course,
full
no.
fucking like IRA.
Yeah, so Gorg grabbed the nearest person and just so he had a pretty high grapple check. Well, he did well with grapple, and I grabbed this guy and I just slammed him into the ground a bunch of times until his face was mush.
Yeah, it was fucked
And
up.
then we started going after
You know,
was it?
do you know what I
Priest?
suspect though?
What?
I suspect that maybe was a demon pleasure palace.
I mean, yeah,
I
could
could
see
also be
that.
wrong.
Well, I think that cleric that I drowned was like definitely pretty upset, and he shot some holy bolts at me. Didn't work.
There were like, I don't know.
'Cause I had the boots of like, what was it, swim or something? I had something where I could water walk, and I ran
Oh
right
yeah,
through that.
yeah. I think
that
just one.
pond. Yeah, just like killed that person.
That's just
Yeah, yeah. And then there was one of my favorite things. We didn't do it. I still think we should have done it, but once again, we didn't really know what we were doing.
No,
But
Sarah
when
was. We weren't even together at the time.
Yeah, that was.
That was
way
before.
Sarah.
Way before.
I was only hearing about Sarah because I wanted somebody to draw a picture of us, and you're like, "Oh, I know a gal," and I was like, "Oh yeah, who's that?" And you told me about Sarah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was way long ago. But yeah, anyways, so but we were on that boat going up to some point, and I was like, we could just murder everybody on this boat. Like, there's nothing they can do.
We are so powerful. We're like gods,
Yeah.
and they are ants.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would absolutely love to play in a campaign again and be happy to have you there. But I don't know any
I'd
DMs.
love
No
it.
one will DM me. They're all
I
cowards.
would love to do that again. That would be, oh jeez, because I'm such a better player than I used to be. Oh my
Oh,
god.
me too. Oh, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing.
Math.
That was your first thing too, right?
No, I've had experience with D&D because I used to play D&D 2, and then I played D&D 3.5, but I didn't
Okay.
play a lot.
Yeah.
I didn't play a lot of it because
Okay.
Mormon. So
That's
like,
true.
everybody's like, oh, you can't play D&D because of Jesus will be upset that you're praying to other gods.
Is that right? Other gods?
Yeah, no, that's a real thing. Yeah, in Mormonism, they'll say that is, hey, you're worshiping that. You should be worshiping God. But Mormons are weird.
So
though.
just really liking something is worship?
Yeah, anything that you're putting above God is worship, including money.
But is that above God?
Which D&D?
Well, I mean,
No.
it is now, obviously.
Well, yeah,
but I mean, like
it's real. So yeah,
it's real and it's fun and frankly, I've had a more religious experience with D&D than I ever had with a religious event. So,
yeah, true.
um,
Absolutely.
uh,
Yeah, so it was growing up, like wanting to play D&D. My stepdad, who's super Mormon, my parents chat just to let you guys know, I'm a ex-Mormon. I grew up in that religion. I left Mormonism about 5-6 years ago, and
that was right around the time we started. Like, I don't think you were fully out.
out. No, I wasn't out yet. I was like mentally out, but physically in. And
I remember lots of conversations about that.
Yeah, and so it was just, yeah, it was so weird, just like deconstructing my religion at that time
I'm
and
gonna smoke
playing
weed with you, okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
Are you
man.
smoking?
I currently don't have my weed with me. It's in the garage. I had to switch my headphones.
That's okay.
To,
That's okay. Because
Yeah.
we never smoked weed in Idaho
No, we didn't.
together, and that is a
I had
mistake.
that rule. Yeah, because like I don't smoke and drive, and I have that pretty hard rule. I don't do that anymore. I do that now, but I've been smoking weed for a while now,
Yeah.
so it's not a thing. But yeah, no, I mean, I totally would love to play another game with you. That
Absolutely.
would be definitely if
If you ever find a DM, you just let me know, and I will do an online campaign with you and drop a hat. As long as they're good. As long as they're good, though. And like, don't, actually good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
You know how it is? You know how it is.
Yeah, I do. Because you and I were tainted. Well, not tainted.
No, we were spoiled. We were big time spoiled. I didn't realize. I remember, this is a distinct memory I have of because you brought up Sarah. A distinct early memory with Sarah is she's like, man, I wish I could have a campaign where the DM was as good as Matt Mercer.
Oh.
And I said, what do you mean? That's how my game is. Now, we weren't as good as players, but definitely Maelstrom voices and such good description and, like, just the way that, like, lines were delivered and stuff.
Little mouse thing. What was that little mouse thing?
Oh, dude, Chaffakis was so badass.
By the way, just so you know, Sarah, do not remember that I said that name.
Would Guar be interested in doing a chick track or some Mormon stuff for TDR? I mean...
Mormon stuff? Well, I mean, you're not a content creator, but, I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to doing, like, this.
Yeah, I mean, like, this is fun.
Yeah, I don't want to put you on the spot. Although you are very funny. I mean...
Well, I was doing stand-up by the time that you and I first met.
Yeah, I've never done stand-up. I think I should, but I've never done it.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean...
I think I should try it.
Idaho stand-up. Yeah, I think you should. It's not that. It's
well, I've done performances live. I've done improv live. I've never done like a set live.
Well, I mean, the only difference is like, I mean, Maelstrom would be a better individual to really talk to. Oh yeah,
Maelstrom's comedy is really good.
Well, yeah, they're like basically a master at their craft, and I am like, yeah, I know how to tell jokes. I know how to. Be funny. I know how to have a good pace with my voice. I know how to actually have a microphone and use it, but that's it. So, I haven't been doing stand-up in Idaho because Idaho has just been so bad with COVID, and you already know of my health condition.
Yeah.
And for those in chat, I have what's called polycythemia vera. It's a type of blood cancer. Don't worry, it's not that bad. But it's going to kill me. But it's like way, like when I'm 70, as long as I'm doing treatment, I'll be like 70 and I'll be dead. And that's fine. But
70 is like what we hope for.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, that's crossed that finish line. I'm like, hey, almost 80. I don't really want to be 80 and decrepit. I'll make it to 70.
They're like, okay, so they've told you, this is a little dark, but fuck it. They've told you definitely not 80. Don't count on it. But they've told you 70. Pretty good ballpark.
Yeah, pretty good ballpark.
That's kind of... Is that... Okay, Existentialism chat. I feel like that... Like, as long as I'm in the 70s or thereabouts, even if I know that, you know what I mean? I think that's decent. I feel like I'm good with that. Are you good with that?
Hey, repeat that question again, because
I feel like 70 is like a decent... I wouldn't be that upsetty about it. I'd be like, okay, yeah.
No, that's enough time for me to see my kid grow old.
Yeah. And I don't have kids, but yeah. And that's a very sweet thing you said. And that's what I thought you'd say. But
of course I would say that. Yeah. I'm a nice guy sometimes. But yeah.
But also selfishly, I want to live forever so I can learn everything and experience it all. Because I'm like if I was a wizard, I would 100% go lich at some point. Let's be real. I'm trying, or at least being like, okay, how do I get some... I need to like steal elves or get elf blood infusions or something and like figure that out.
Just go grab a unicorn and bleed them out. And
dude, if it's unicorn blood, fuck unicorns. It is what it is. I'm getting a unicorn. Frankly, anything that's a magical being, I don't feel that bad about killing wantonly.
I mean, it really helps with my crow's feet. So like, right on. If it gets my crow's feet, I can sell that to online. Yeah. I don't know,
but it wouldn't be because of. It'd only be because selfishly I want to learn stuff. That's really it.
Yeah. I mean, so here's my opinion with it. And my opinion has definitely vastly changed since I've gotten...
oh, really? You think your opinion of your death and mortality has maybe changed since exiting Mormonism?
Yeah, a little bit. I don't think I'm going to be God anymore.
A tweak. A tweak.
Well, Mormons used to believe this, but it used to be doctrine or like part of their core beliefs that when you die, you get your own planet as long as you're a good little boy.
Isn't that still it, though? Isn't that still the shit?
They came out saying like that's not a thing anymore, which is kind of silly. Cause,
what? That's like core to the shit.
Yeah, it is. And so like...
what the fuck?
Like that. Yeah, I know. It's really
I didn't know that they undid that.
Yeah,
Endless celestial sex, white and delightsome. Hello, guys. What are we doing?
It's the worst retcon I've ever seen. So,
Dude, and hey, not to cut you off, but Mormonism in their fucking retcons, boy oh boy. Talk polygamy, anybody?
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
Child brides, guys?
It's like, no, Joseph Smith never had more than one wife, and one was young as 14 years old.
The topic of the blacks? The fucking Mormons. Dude, Mormons, if you start talking about, like, heavy shit with, like, Mormon missionaries, boy, do they sweat. I feel bad for them kids sometimes, man.
Dude, we just had some Mormons.
Bless their hearts.
Over. Yeah, I felt so bad for them because, like, they were sister missionaries.
Oh,
and
I had two brothers.
Oh, right on. I mean, I don't care. So what I did with them is that I was like, hey, guys.
Did they get briefed by the church that you're an apostate, though?
No, they didn't know.
What?
They had no clue.
That's so weird for... okay. The church is usually all over that shit, right?
You would think that they would have been like, hey, the husband, like, left the church. Wait. But they go after the wife all the time.
Yeah, you both left, right?
No, she hasn't had her records removed yet.
Oh,
so,
fuck still. Shit. Oh, fuck.
So,
okay,
yeah,
anyway.
We're waiting for her dad to die. So after that happens, then, yeah, she's getting them removed.
That's nice, yeah.
Yeah, I guess. So either way, they came over, and they're like, hey, we heard there's a member here. And I was like, here's the deal. I just want you to know, you guys are just kids, and I think you guys are great. You're just out here because you're kind of forced to, but here's how this can work out. I think you guys are great, but I'm going to let you know I used to be a Mormon, and I kind of gave them a little rundown of, like, my history, and then I was like, and here's the deal. I'm bi. Mormons haven't been so great with me and treating me and how I was bi and growing up bi in the church, telling me it was a choice all the time. And that if you just pray really hard, those will stop, which they don't, by the way. They
don't? Really? Oh, no way.
Weird. So then I told them, I was like, now, since you guys are kind of forced into this, I want you to know we're a safe space. So if you guys ever need to make a phone call that you don't want the church to know about, I'm here for you. If you guys need to get away, I'm here for you. If you guys need to, like, even try to get home, I will help you out with that. But if you need anything, come and ask. And they haven't been back, which is really weird. So I don't know why.
I think that's good because I think well, maybe not. It's good and bad. Because it's good because it means that nothing in their life has been upheaved, but it's also bad because nothing in their life has been upheaved.
Yeah.
I
mean, yeah, and I felt bad for one gal because she was, like, from Utah.
Ooh,
and
it's worse in Utah.
To Idaho? Why would you want to come to Idaho for your mission?
How do we describe to those who have not been, and I've only been lightly initiated in the culture, and I felt it a lot living in Boise. So having only, I'll say I got the seltzer of Mormonism. I didn't even get like classic Coke. How would you describe the difference between Idaho Mormons and Utah Mormons?
Oh, money mostly.
Well,
yeah. So Utah Mormons generally think so. There's actually a feud between the two, mm-hmm. And so like
Oregon
Utah
ones
Mormons,
too, right?
Oregon, kind of, because Oregon's a little bit more lefty. So there's like, oh, those are the progressive Mormons, and it's like they're not real Mormons, and which is a gross thing to say, but whatever. But the Utah Mormons are like, oh no, we are. So they're fairly vain. We just came back from a funeral, so I was just there. And it was crazy to see like that type of money being just thrown around like there's no disregard. And like when I go back in Idaho, where I go to like a potluck, for example, and we have green Jello and some other type of casseroles and stuff, and those motherfuckers are just like, no, I'm just going to go ahead and rent out like this Hilton. We'll just rent the whole thing. It's fine. We'll cater. So yeah, it was really just different.
Dude, Mormons, like especially Utah Mormons. Connections.
Yeah.
Connections. And those families are like Kennedys, dude.
Yeah. And yes, they are. And like it depends, like your last name kind of matters. If you're like a Monson, you're like royalty over there. It's really fucking wild. And but it's so weird for other people to try to see like into this world because it doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Yeah.
Just now, it's a cult. But that that heaven under whatever that under banner
Yeah.
yeah,
Under
that's,
the banner of
heaven.
God.
Yeah,
Banner
under
of
banner.
heaven. Banner of heaven.
Yeah,
Yeah,
which
that
is
one.
either way, it's really good. The acting on there is amazing. And that would give actually a pretty good idea of like what Mormonism is like in Utah, because it gets really strange like the further south in Utah you go, because the closer you are to Salt Lake, it's fairly left, but the farther
Oh
south you
yeah.
go, it's really nuts, and it gets like the polygamist lives farther south, and those are just wild because there's different types of polig sects out there. There's like the AOLs or whatever they are.
There's the
No,
FLDL, right?
FLDS, yeah, they
Or
were,
FLDS. Yeah.
yeah. And then there's there's several other sects that are out there, but it all boils down that there's these guys that just really wanted to have multiple wives so that they could take advantage of them and have control over their bodies.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound like anything that's going on, in the world right now at all.
No
But
way.
yeah,
No.
yeah, it's weird. So
No
yeah,
systemic
it's,
things to look at there. Just ignore it.
yeah, yeah. So in southern Utah, it's just stranger, and I don't like that place. It's a weird place.
Yeah, I'm mutuals with Utah Outcasts, Benny. Well, shit.
Yeah,
Well,
that was
shit.
fun.
That was
talking
fun.
about
Yeah, I'm serious about it. If you can figure out an online campaign thing, I would 100% be down in a heartbeat. It wouldn't take me even a second thought. So,
well, I lost the number because I switched phones. So if you
well, I'll
send
just
me-
tell it to you right now.
yeah, just send
Aloud. No, I'll put it into
Send it.
your private messages.
I do have WhatsApp, so you can
Yep.
still send that to me.
Boop.
That'd be great.
I did it right there.
Oh, thanks, bud. Appreciate that. I'll get you added. But yeah, man. So my brother did do a campaign. We actually completed the campaign all the way. Got to like level 18
In person or
over online.
oh, okay.
Online.
Okay.
So yeah, it was. But I played a Warforged named Gronk. I'm not really good with names.
Guar.
Yeah,
We got him.
Just
We'll
like,
get. Oh, still D&D? No, we literally we just got back onto D&D. Come on.
Yeah, we did. So, so it was a blast, but we finally actually ended it. And
Was it like with a successful conclusion or did it dissolve?
oh yeah, it's a successful conclusion. It was Tiamat, and so you got to kill her. But Gronk at the time could fly because I was playing another barbarian bear, and then I picked the eagle feat over at level 14 or whatever.
So you could fly.
And so he could fly, and he was just he had a Vorpal sword on him.
Oh,
So yeah,
flying barbarian sounds like a problem.
yeah, with a Vorpal sword as well, because oh man, if you crit, it's just massive amount of damage. So it's always good, or it's an insta kill. So yeah, man, I'll try to kill. I'm sure. Have you ever talked to Maelstrom about doing a campaign for us?
Yeah, I think if I really was more assertive about it, it maybe would happen, but it seems like there's a lot of what's the word I want to use? I feel like it would cause some schedule conflicts, I guess.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, so maybe I mean obviously, yes.
Yeah, it would be
100%.
Yeah.
I mean I don't know how much you guys talk, but yeah, I mean if you want to float it out there, I'm 100% in. And it doesn't have to be streamed, but it also can be. I don't care either way.
Yeah.
I'm happy to do a private game. I do one private game and one streamed, so.
Yeah, and if you ever want to do one-shots or anything, I'll be more than happy to hop on.
Oh yeah.
And do that, because I have to admit, dude, that's not to extend this conversation, but the fucking Venom subclass that you did,
yeah.
oh, dude, it's such a chef's kiss, because if you really play that character with that hunger that you have going on there, motherfucker, does that make some good choices and make some amazing sessions. So it's awesome. So yeah, we definitely should. I'll float it out to them.
Hell yeah.
And now, if anybody here wants to ever like hear anything from our mutual friend Maelstrom, you can actually find them on Twitter at was it Melforce1?
Yeah.
And
Mael.
yeah, Mael Force One. They're amazing. You totally should support them any way you can, and I'm a big fan of them. And but yeah, that's it, man.
All right. I appreciate you. Love your face.
Love your face too, buddy. You have a good night.